about Ubuntu. So, Ubuntu is pronounced as Ubuntu. It's an open source Debian-based Linux distribution sponsored by Canonical Ltd. Ubuntu is considered as a good distribution for beginners. The operating system was intended primarily for personal computers or PC, but it can also use in servers. So Ubuntu is one of the most used operating system, which is you can apply with your personal computers or PC. So Ubuntu is not only used in personal computers, but it can also use in those devices that have servers, just like laptops and other devices. So Ubuntu incorporates all the features of Unix OS with an added customizable GUI, which makes it popular in universities and research organizations. So Ubuntu is used also in many universities, and it is used also in research organizations. Ubuntu is primarily designed to be used in personal computers, although a server edition does also exist. So, ang Ubuntu is work lang gid ni siya kaya siya isa. So, hindi na need nga iban pagit nga nga devices para mag-operate lang siya isa. Ubuntu is an African word that literally means humanity to others. So, when we say humanity to others, so it really means that Ubuntu is really helpful to humans in order to finish their work successfully. Ubuntu is a Linux distribution composed mostly of free and open source software. Ubuntu is officially released in 3 editions, which is the desktop, server, and core for Internet-of-Things devices and robots. All the editions can run on the computer alone or in a virtual machine. So, ang Ubuntu commonly used in 3 editions, which is the desktop, server, and the core, which is connected to the internet. So, all of this is run through a virtual machine. So, Ubuntu has always been free to download, use, and share. We believe in the power of open source software. Ubuntu could not exist without its worldwide community of voluntary developers. So, Ubuntu was always been free to download whatever you want to download, to share what do you want to share and to use. So Ubuntu is free to use. Ubuntu is fully translated into over 50 languages and includes essential assistive technology. So you have no worries about languages when you are using a Ubuntu because it has a 50 languages. It is offer 50 languages for you to Ubuntu comes with everything you need to run your organization, school, home, or enterprise. All these essential applications like an office suite, browsers, email, and media apps come pre-installed, and 1,000 more games and applications are available in Ubuntu Software Center. So, Ubuntu is also used in a work, in school or enterprises, in businesses. So Ubuntu has also have a browsers, email, and Office suite, just like Word, PowerPoint, Excel. So all you need is so Ubuntu has everything you need. So if you want applications, Ubuntu has an own applications and
Play
So in terms of security, so Ubuntu has a built-in firewall and virus protection software. Ubuntu is one of the most secure operating systems around, and the long-term support releases give you 5-year security patches and updates. So with Ubuntu, you have no worry about the virus and the firewall protection because Ubuntu has 5-year security patches and updates. So you don't need to install antivirus application because Ubuntu has a built-in firewall and virus protection. So it can protect your whole when you're using Ubuntu, you are protected by the virus because it has a firewall na nagaharang sa mga virus para magkadto sa mga device. So Ubuntu comes with a wide range of software programs including Firefox and LibreOffice. So we all familiar with Firefox and LibreOffice. So these two are part of Ubuntu. So Ubuntu is freely available for a both community and professional support. So all of the members of the community are free to use Ubuntu. If you are a student and if you are a professional, you are free to use Ubuntu in your work. So this is Ubuntu. If you're not familiar with this, so this is Ubuntu. When you're going to do your test, to do your work, it is an office or in school, so much better to search this because it is really helpful for you to finish your work in time and to have a great. These are the advantages and disadvantages of Ubuntu. One of the advantages of Ubuntu is that it is a free to download and open source operating system. In other words, unlike Microsoft Windows and Mac OS from Apple, individuals and organizations can own and maintain working computers without the need of paying software licenses or purchasing exclusive devices. So sa Ubuntu, free lang mag-use ng mga applications. Hindi pa rin sa Apple nga you need to buy sa mga gina-purchase mo nga sa mga ginagamit mo. So building and maintaining information technology infrastructure essentially come with costs. Aside from purchasing the hardware, they need a working OS. Nevertheless, small and large organizations can benefit from the reduced cost savings that come from using free operating systems as well as from productivity applications. So in terms ng maintenance, so hindi ko na need magasto more na money kay free lang siyang operating system. Number 2, works in a range of devices or computing platforms. The OS can be installed in numerous devices, including Windows computers and Mac computers. It also works on network servers and IoT devices and robots, as well as in emulated or virtualized computer environments via a virtual machine or containers. Several provide their user-friendly with a high degree of customization. Any person with a basic knowledge of computers can easily install this OS and set up his or her entire computer system. In addition, Canonical Ltd has significantly improved the overall user interface of Ubuntu, thus making it as user-friendly as the more popular Windows and Mac OS. So, kapag may knowledge ka about computers, so easy ka lang maka-install OS. So, it is so much better nga amo na imo gamitan kapag may knowledge ka about sa sine. Next,
Minimal hardware or system requirements. The default Ubuntu does not require high-end system requirements, unlike the latest version of Windows and macOS. The recommended hardware configuration: at least 700 MHz processor, 512 MB of RAM, and without the need of paying software licenses or purchasing exclusive devices. So sa Ubuntu, free lang mag-use ng mga applications. Hindi pa rin sa Apple nga you need to buy sa mga gina-purchase sa mga ginagamit mo. So building and maintaining information technology infrastructure essentially come with costs. Aside from purchasing the hardware, they need a working OS. Nevertheless, small and large organizations can benefit from the reduced cost savings that come from using free operating systems as well as from productivity applications. So in terms ng sa maintenance, so hindi ko na need magasto more na money kay free lang siyang operating system. Number 2, works in a range of devices or computing platforms. The OS can be installed in numerous devices, including Windows computers and Mac computers. It also works on network servers and IoT devices in robots, as well as in emulated or virtualized computer environments via a virtual machine or containers. Several provide their user-friendly with a high degree of customization. Any person with a basic knowledge of computers can easily install this OS and set up his or her entire computer system. In addition, Canonical Ltd has significantly improved the overall user interface of Ubuntu, thus making it as user-friendly as the more popular Windows and macOS. So, kapag may knowledge ka about computers, so easy ka lang maka-install OS. So, it is so much better nga amo na imo gamiton kapag may knowledge ka about sa sine. Next, minimal hardware or system requirements. The default Ubuntu does not require high-end system requirements, unlike the latest version of Windows and macOS. The recommended hardware configuration: at least 700 MHz processor, 512 MB of RAM, and 5 GB storage. So, ang iyang minimal hardware or system requirements, so need mo lang at least 700 MHz nga processor, and then 512 MB of RAM, and 5 GB ang mga storage space. So note that specific flavors such as Lobonto and Sobonto are developed and optimized for lower and hardware specifications.
Go.
One of the major disadvantages of Ubuntu is the limited choices of application. Although the OS is free and a number of apps are also free for download, counterparts in Windows and macOS are considerably better. Major developers also prefer developing for Microsoft Corporation and Apple Inc. because they have a larger user bases. So in terms naman sa ang Ubuntu is limited ang imo ma-access application, unlike sa mga Apple or Mac OS or Windows nga you're free to download ever application you want.
Start.
Next, now
Play.
next advantages of Ubuntu is disadvantages.
I'll go.
Next disadvantages of Ubuntu is it is not an operating system for gaming enthusiasts. There are few game titles available for operating system based on Linux distribution, and a lot of them are unimpressive. Most of the games available for this OS are too simple, or in other words, they lack advanced gameplay and immersive graphical experience. So, in terms naman sa games, so hindi good nga ang Ubuntu. Wala sa ga-offer sa mga games enthusiast. So, kapag ara ka sa games, hindi siya best na gamiton. Next, disadvantages is one of the major criticisms of Ubuntu is the seeming commercialization. Canonical seems to move a little farther away from the open source identity of the OS with every update. Instead of working with the open source community, the company works on its own most of the time, thus losing the advantage of receiving free inputs from hundreds.